Hey, my creative friends. I'm Shannon from Shannon's Studio, and I'm here to talk creativity and to see how you're doing creatively. How is everybody doing with their idea books, finding time to be creative, making things, thinking differently, shifting your mindset, all those kinds of things. How are you doing with that? So I kind of wanted to see and hear how people are doing. So write in the comments how you are doing with your creative lifestyle and how that's going for you. And if, things have changed a little bit for you and what the results are. I follow some of I follow friends and people on my social medias. And I've just noticed a ton of people doing things, just doing creative things, whether it's my sister Michelle doing her house. What did I see today that was so interesting? Ooh, of course it escapes me, and Carrie was doing something, and Rebecca's doing her Christmas tree farm. I mean, there's just lots of things going on, and maybe because I'm creative, I just have more creative friends, or if it's just a little because it's Christmas, people are being more creative, or exactly what, but it just seems like I'm seeing more creativity. So, but I wanted to see how you were doing with your creativity, and so let me know. Today it was really funny because last night we made some reservations we reserved our flights to go to Paris the day after Christmas. And am I excited by that? Just a little. So anyways, we made our flight plans. And then it was like, oh, what do I want to do in Paris? What am I going to do? And I kept just kind of my mind was bouncing around. And so I thought, I have a video on that. So I went and listened to my own video to be able to get my mind focused on my trip and I think it was how to be creative while traveling, or that was the title of it. And I did it while I was in Denmark or just, around that Denmark time. And so I knew it was there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. But I just thought that was pretty funny that I couldn't even remember what I do, because I just, what happens when you get in this anxious mode or this anxiety mode or this, you're just kind of forcing it mode, is I always say your prefrontal cortex shuts down and you don't think reasonably anymore. And so I knew I wasn't thinking reasonably, so I needed to switch and go, okay, now let's just have a little plan here. So it was good to hear my own video, and I don't mean that I don't say that to make it sound like, oh, I have all the answers. It was just easy to be able to find it and have that information right there to help me, because sometimes we get freaked out. I have this thing below me and it just keeps hitting my foot. So yeah. So we just sometimes don't remember what what will help us, or we get stuck because, like I said, frontal cortex shutting down. So I used my video this morning, I'll confess, and it was helpful for me. So we are going to Paris the day after Christmas, and if you've ever been to Paris or anything, let me know what are must-sees. What are the things that I need to see? I'm going to do a couple things different on this trip, which I'm pretty excited about, but I'll tell you about that later. But tell me what you think I need to see. We do have the Louvre scheduled and the Eiffel Tower. And so we definitely have those two, but I think other than that, we're still open. And so let me know. So today I was looking through things, and I came across, on my website page, shannonstudio.com, there's a section right under the welcome that says benefits. And I was just reading through the benefits, because in my study of things, there are certain benefits you derive from being creative. And it's not just creative in painting or certain things, but being creative across any kind of medium or any kind of thing. When you're creative, you get benefits. And sometimes, we don't realize how many benefits we get from being creative. And plus, that creativity is so fun to be able to, it's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, creativity is your sugar. It just, it is a fun way to get the benefits that help us mentally, help us physically. Hey, Trisha. So one of the benefits you get from being creative is confidence. And it's creativity needs confidence, but then also breeds confidence. So it's this like circular cycle thing that happens. But one of the quotes on my website is, I hear Joseph out there. It's a little past his bedtime, but tomorrow's half day, and then he's on vacation for 3 weeks, so I think Dad just let him stay up. Okay, here's a quote on my website that says, this is from Bronson and Ashley Merrymann, the Creativity Crisis book. A similar study found that those high in creative self-efficacy had more confidence about their future and ability to succeed. They were sure that their ability to come up with alternatives would aid them no matter what problems would arise. So, having yourself be self-creative, being motivated and doing things like that help you be confident. And confidence across the board helps people succeed. It's one of the things that will help drive success. So, and this is another quote. This one's from Shelley Carson, Your Creative Brain. It talks about a place in your brain, and the place in your brain, the center of it is the nucleus accumbens. I do not know terminology. Trisha, you would know terminology better than I do. AKA ventral stratum. Okay, this center in the brain, they call it the reward center. She says when this center is turned on, your self-confidence soars. So in that section of the brain, the reward section is turned on, you have it, just like it raises your confidence. It jacks it up for you. Some of the things that do it for you, well, obviously, some of the things that help build your confidence, one of them would be winning awards or rewards and recognition. Those sorts of things obviously build our confidence. Being loved builds our confidence. Getting good at something, really spending the time to develop the skills, that is a natural development for confidence, because we start to see, I'm good at something, I can do this. And eating does it, because it raises your dopamine. Well, anything that raises the dopamine, the whole thing, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, all of it raises your dopamine. You do feel good. So eating, having experiences, having experiences that teach you, and having experiences of failing. That, it seems odd, but that can teach you that, yes, I can get through this. Yes, I know what to do next time this comes up. So it starts to create confidence in yourself and your own abilities. I don't think that one necessarily raises dopamine, but that one teaches you in another way. And so I know that there's other ways that we can gain our confidence, to have this self-belief that we can do something. And if you have other comments and your other ways to raise our confidence, or your own personal experiences to raise confidence. One of the things that I did, I remember as a teenager, we had in our school, the teacher had solos, the choirs. So you had to try out and you had to do these solos. So one of the things that I tried out for the solo, and we practiced and everything, and it came the night to do the solo, and I had a cold. I got a cold, and so I couldn't sing high notes. And I told my teacher, I said, I can't do this. I can't sing the high notes. She was sure I was just nervous. So she said, no, you get on stage and you sing. It's your turn. So I got on stage and I started to sing, and I couldn't hit any of the high notes. So I'm sitting there singing, and then I go, and it cracks and nothing comes out. And like tears are streaming down my face and everything else. And she didn't make me sing the next night. So, but it was just like, it devastated me. But you know what? I was so determined to try to build something back up that the next year I tried out again and did it so I could just prove to myself that I could do it. And it didn't, I mean, I never really sang after that. I just needed to tell myself, I just needed to prove to myself that I could do it, that I had the courage to do it. We have experiences in our life like that where we think we can't do something, but either we do it or we fail at it or something, and it teaches us and it builds us in different ways. And then you can do the dopamine thing, raise the dopamine thing that will help you kind of, not in a false way, but in an accelerated way. And so confidence is something, we need confidence to be creative. It takes a lot of nerve to let other people see you make things, to let other people see you, put your work out there, to see your work. It takes a lot of confidence in yourself to do that, to prove to yourself, I can do this. This is something I want to do, and I can do it. I told you before how it was so hard for me to call myself an artist. It's so hard when we get into this artistic area where we think we aren't creative. And so we have to build those confidence muscles and to be able to let that flow into our creative, in our creative path and lifestyle. So that's the tip tonight, is to build some, reflect on how a lot of you I know are confident, but to reflect on that confidence and let it push you a little bit further, and to be okay that even if you fail at something, it really is going to help you learn some things to strengthen that confidence a little bit more down the road. Maybe not at the moment, but down the road. So tell me how you have had confidence. Tell me how you're doing in your creative journey and your idea book and those kinds of things, and let me know. And if you have any ideas about what you think are must-sees in Paris. We're only going to be there, I think, 3-4 days. So, but I'm super excited about that little Christmas present to ourselves. And so, in the meantime, remember you have a creative heartbeat, so listen for it. And I will be back tomorrow. Bye.